Now we have the girls hockey team. The awards will be presented by the coaches, Nicole Clark, Dylan Grinsel, Amy Penner, and John Carlson.
My name is Nicole Clark, and I was given the pleasure of coaching the Muskie girls hockey team this season alongside Dylan Grinsel, Amy Penner, and John Carlson. With only 2 seniors this year, we were a very young team that the coaching staff believed in right from the get-go. We had confidence in our players and held them to high expectations. Our season started off strong, going 2-0 in league play. Our first loss in league play was to TA, and we looked to bounce back in a tournament in Portage la Prairie. However, we needed to battle through some adversity as the weekend of games did not go as we had hoped. We had another huge test the following weekend in Kenora in the K-Town Classic. This is when the coaching staff really felt the girls come together, and it showed on the ice going 4-0 over the weekend and taking home the championship trophy. We headed into the new year with a 4-1 record, sitting in second place in league standings. As the season neared the end, the team was backed into a corner with a small chance to clinch first place. Clinching first place in the regular season was a goal we had set for ourselves at the beginning of the year, and the girls stuck to it. Our standings in the regular season came down to a hard-fought shootout win against TA and a tough doubleheader in Dryden, in which the girls were victorious, defeating the Eagles in overtime and then in a shootout. Winning these 3 games put the team into a tie for first place against TA. After a few stressful days, Norwassa had declared that our team finished in that top spot. We would play Sioux North in the first round of the playoffs. In an intense series with Sioux North, the girls came out 2-0 and would face TA in the final round. We lost our first game to TA in regulation time 5-2 and had to head to Kenora Saturday night in a must-win situation. After battling back from a 2-0 deficit in the first, the girls finished the game winning 5-4 in regulation time. The girls were ready in Game 3, ending regulation and overtime in a 1-1 tie, which meant going into a shootout with TA for the 4th and final time over the course of this season. Our team put our best moves to the test and came with 2 huge goals for the black and gold, while senior goaltender Cam stood in her head, stopping all of TA's attempts and a total of 64 shots to secure Norwassa gold. We as a coaching staff are so thankful to have gotten each and every one of our players this season. To Jill and Cam, you will be so missed. You are both incredible hockey players, role models, and leaders. You both were not only an asset to our team on the ice, but in our dressing room as well. I'm so proud of all of you. You never ever gave up and continually gave 110%. We are and deserve to be Norwassa champions. We would also like to take this time to thank everyone who helped make this season a success. Whether you sponsored us, bought a season's pass, a ticket into our game, traveled to watch us, listened to the broadcast, whatever you did to support Muskie Girls Hockey, thank you. A special thank you to the wonderful group of parents who continuously volunteered their time getting their daughters to the rink, running the time box, the door, 50-50, and so much more. It truly takes a village. Thank you.
This year, the Most Sportsmanlike Award is being given to an individual who played the game with heart, intensity, and integrity. She was a hard competitor on the ice that consistently put forth a strong effort during both practices and games. She played with grit and determination, all while demonstrating her respect for her coaches, teammates, and opponents. Away from the rink, this player represented our hockey program well and made the coaching staff proud while in the community. This year's recipient of the Most Sportsmanlike Award is Katrina Kumans.
This award is going to a second-year player who really came out of her comfort zone this year. She started the season as a strong all-around player but quickly realized her potential. She played a key role on our team, especially towards the end of the season. This player was never afraid to ask questions on what she could do to improve her game and consistently improving her skills and implementing constructive criticism into every aspect of her game. She has demonstrated so much growth in terms of her confidence. This year's most improved player is Abby Kenny.
The most dedicated award is going to a player who consistently demonstrates her dedication to our team and the game of hockey itself. She puts in the work on and off the ice in order to become a better player not only for herself, but for her teammates as well. At most practices, she is the first one on the ice and the last one off. She can be counted on in all situations and leads by example. This year's most dedicated player is Izzy Taylor.
The Rookie of the Year award is being presented to a first-year player that demonstrated growth, perseverance, and skill. Early on in the season, the recipient understood her role in the team and took advantage of opportunities that the coaching staff presented to her. This allowed her to become a player that was looked to and relied on to play in certain key situations. This player was able to persevere and continue to develop her skills and knowledge of the game to ensure success on the ice. The Rookie of the Year recipient is Piper Cross.
The Coaches Award recognizes the commitment, dedication, leadership, and the act of putting the team above yourself. The player receiving this award is well respected by her coaches, teammates, and members of the school community. Her dedication to our team was evident not only through her play on the ice, but through her volunteerism within our organization and events in the community. This season, she played primarily on a line with 2 first-year players, and through this, demonstrated her strong ability to lead by example and offer constructive criticism when she felt it was needed. She consistently puts the team above herself, asking questions, always doing what was asked, willing to learn, and never ever complained. In key situations, specifically penalty kill, she really stepped up for us and plays an incredible defensive-minded game. She was a player that I feel anyone in our dressing room could go to no matter what was going on. She truly encompasses everything that we want our Muskie athletes to demonstrate both on and off the ice. The Coaches Award will be presented to Marty Woods.
The Scott Glendenning Award goes to a player that displays perseverance and love for the game of hockey. This girl showed every quality that goes into this award. She was the backbone of her team and played every game with confidence and the attitude to win. She was an assistant captain this year and was both a leader on and off the ice. This year's Scott Glendenning Award goes to Cameron Sandalovich.
The Most Valuable Player Award is awarded annually to the player that the coaches believe contributed the most to the team's success. This player not only provided tremendous offensive contribution, she also was heavily relied upon in the defensive end and in the locker room. Her work ethic, attention to detail, and proven passion for the game made her not only our MVP, but a role model for players to come. The 2019-2020 Most Valuable Player is Senior Captain Jill Calder. Congrats, Jill.
Finally, we have the Muskie Boys Hockey Awards presented by Mr. Coach Sinclair.
Last year, I decided I would coach the girls' hockey team, and I had a plan to do so for 4 years. However, things don't always go as planned, and this year I was presented with a new and exciting opportunity, something that myself and Tyler had talked about during our years of playing college hockey together, something that myself and Kyle had talked about during our years of playing junior hockey together, that we would coach the boys' hockey team, and here we are. First off, with an abrupt end to our season, I never got a chance to thank everyone involved with the Muskie boys hockey team this year. This year, the Muskie Blue Line Club saw a new president after Bob Miller decided it was time for him to step away. Bob, thank you for your years of service and contribution that you have dedicated to this organization to getting the boys hockey program to where it is now. Paul Cousino and Mike Allison, thank you both for stepping up and becoming co-chairs for this program. Thank you for your time and efforts behind the scenes, making sure everything is in order, and we, as coaches, are provided with everything that we need to make a successful year for the student athletes. Parents, this team couldn't operate without you as the Blue Line Club. The time and effort you dedicate, the patience you show, the ideas and suggestions you put forward, and of course, the money you spend. It's because of you that we have such a prestigious organization. Sponsors. This goes without saying. We are so incredibly lucky to have the support from each and every one of you. On behalf of each and every player on this team from this year to previous years and the future years, we thank you for everything and anything that you have done to support this program. Along with everyone being affected personally, you businesses are going through a very difficult time right now, and we understand that. We have compassion for what you are going through, and we, as an organization, will support you in any way that we can, as you have done for us for so many years, in hopes we can all rise together. As mentioned, this was my first year as head coach of the team, and going into the year, I had high expectations of what we were capable of achieving this year. Luckily for me, these boys had the same goals and expectations. The boys hockey team was made up of a relatively older group this year, and they had something to prove. After 2 years of suffering defeat in overtime in the Norwassa finals, it was evident that this group wanted to get back for a chance to compete at the OFSA Championship. Overall, we had a very successful year, going 32, 11, and 2. To go along with their outstanding record, the boys' team had a few recognizable achievements during the season as well. We won the consolation trophy in both the Brandon and Winnipeg tournaments against top teams in Manitoba. And we claimed the championship trophy in the Dryden tournament. After losing the first game of the border battle in International Falls, the boys were determined to split the season series and bring home the trophy back to Fort Frances. During the season, we also had the opportunity to play the Thunder Bay Midget Minor Kings for a home-and-home series where we came up just shy of splitting the series. We ended with a 2-3-1 record, which we were very happy with against a high-caliber team like that. Although we had a great year, our season wasn't all about celebrating victories, as it was just as much about learning from our losses. This season, we were able to get back to the Christmas Classic tournament in Duluth, where we faced off against some of the top teams in Minnesota, including the powerhouse Hermantown Hawks. This weekend was definitely an eye-opener for us, as we had a little taste of what it feels like to be completely outplayed and be completely outmatched. Having said that, Hermantown didn't let up on us, and the boys never quit. They battled and worked for one another right until the final buzzer went, and that's all the coaching staff could ask for. Through all the highs and lows during the season, we were able to finish the year in first place in the Norwassa standings, giving us home ice advantage throughout playoffs. After losing Game 1 in the finals to TA, we went to the Kenora with the mentality that we weren't losing again. We won Game 2 in convincing fashion, sending Game 3 back to Fort Frances. Although it wasn't ideal, the atmosphere in the old 52 rink for that final game was amazing. The support that the student body showed, the school and the community showed, truly provided us with home ice advantage. The team was able to feed off that energy, off the crowd, and battle right to the end to claim the Norwassa gold medal and trophy. Unfortunately, our season came to a sudden halt when it was announced that OFSA would be cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Obviously, this news was disappointing for us and upsetting, as we truly believe we had a very strong team and had the potential to compete for an OFSA gold medal. Although we did not have the opportunity to prove ourselves at the provincial level, each one of them should be proud of what we accomplished this year. Seniors, I want to thank each and every one of you for what you have done and what you have given to the Muskie Boys hockey program. Whether this was your first year or fourth year on the team, you have contributed greatly to this organization. Jace, Reed, Michael, Connor, Brady, Jacob, and Caden. Thank you for everything this season, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck with whatever you decide to do next year and years to follow. The Dan Johnson Award is given to a player who exemplifies Danny's attributes of honesty, dedication, positive attitude, perseverance, work ethic, and desire to excel. Anyone who's coached this athlete or taught this student will tell you that he exhibits all of these qualities in everything he does. He holds himself at a higher standard than most and expects the best from himself. Sometimes the bar he sets for himself may seem unrealistic to some, but the surprising part is, he'll get there, no matter what it takes. He plays the game the way it should be played each and every time he is on the ice. His passion for the game is evident in everything he does, and everything he does is for the success of the team. His compete level, his willingness to battle, and his work ethic that he brings each day is above and beyond. This year's recipient of the Dan Johnson Award, goes to Peyton Navis. The Bert Egan Award is given to a player for his outstanding contribution to Muskie hockey. This year, the recipient of the award had kind of a frustrating year as he was sidelined due to injury on a couple occasions. Although he was only able to play in 60% of our games this season, he was a big part of our team and our success. He was one of our assistant captains and did a great job leading by example this year. On the ice, he was a threat in the back end. He logged a lot of minutes each game and was not only leaned on for his defensive ability, but also his offensive potential from the point. As mentioned, we didn't always have him in the lineup, so his contribution to the team came in many different ways. In the dressing room, he kept everyone level, coming on road trips even when he knew he couldn't play, and dedicating his time to be at practice even when he couldn't skate. Among all of these, he scored the biggest goal of our season, and one I'm sure he'll remember forever, the game-winning goal in Game 3 of Norwasop Finals. This year's recipient of the Bert Egan Award for Outstanding Contribution is Connor Nelson. The Rod Kane Award is given to a player who is generous in winning, fair, he is for the good of the team, and applauds the efforts of all members. This player exemplifies all these qualities to perfection and is the epitome of what it means to be a team player. He wants nothing but the best from himself and his teammates and does everything in his power to get that out of everyone. He is looked upon as a leader in the dressing room for his guidance, encouragement, and support. And on the ice, he accepts whatever role is given to him without complaints or hesitation as he carries a team-first mentality. He is not only a pleasure to coach, but he is a pleasure to simply be around as he brings out the best in everyone. This year's recipient of the Rod Kane Award goes to Brady Bodnerchuk. The Randy Roach Award is the award known for the unsung hero, and it is given to a player who shows good hockey skills, dedication to team play, gets the job done, but remains the unsung hero. This player isn't known for his goal scoring or physical play or his deking abilities, although sometimes he'd like to think otherwise. This player kept things simple, whether it was a good first pass in our end, getting the puck in deep at the red line, or making sure a shot gets through from the point. He did the little things in a game that allow for team success, the things that don't often get seen on the score sheet or don't stand out to spectators, but the things that don't go unnoticed to coaches. He has played for this team for the past 3 years, and he wasn't going to leave high school without a Norwasop gold medal for hockey. This year's recipient of the Randy Roach Award goes to Jace Jackson. And now to present the Al Freeman Memorial Trophy is Sarah Freeman Kivimaki.
Hi, I'm Sarah Freeman Kivimaki. Today I'm giving a trophy in memory of my grandfather, Al Freeman. He passed away in 1993. Since then, my family have been giving a trophy out for the most gentlemanly player. This year's recipient of the Al Freeman Memorial Most Gentlemanly Player is Michael Ward. Congratulations, Michael.
Congratulations, Michael, on a well-deserving award. And I just want to say, Michael is the only member of our team to play his entire 4 years of high school with the Muskie Boys hockey program. He was a leader on the ice with his skill, speed, and hockey IQ, as well as off the ice with his leadership qualities in the dressing room. He's a big player game and knows what it takes to have success, and he has put everything he's got into this program, and we cannot thank him enough for what he's done over the last 4 years. Thanks, Mike, and congratulations. The Rookie of the Year award is given to any first-year member of the boys hockey team. This player is a perfect example of having a never-quit attitude. After a couple of years of receiving disappointing news that he did not make the team, he showed tremendous perseverance and persistence with the Muskie Boys hockey team over his high school career. As a first-year player, he was 4th among the team in overall points per game, third on the team in overall points and 7th among all of scoring in Norwassa play. Along with this, he played an important role on the team defensively as well as penalty killing. As the season went on, his confidence and level of play grew, and he became one of our most trusting players in both ends of the rink. Although only a first-year player, he showed great leadership skills in the dressing room as well. This year's Rookie of the Year is Jacob Albright. The Barney Mayer Trophy is awarded to the most valuable player of the Muskie boys hockey team. The recipient of this award was relied on heavily from the coaching staff this season, and in our eyes did not disappoint. He was relied on offensively, in which he led all of Norwassa with 31 points in 12 league games. He led our team in overall points per game with 1.61 and tied in overall team scoring with 71 points. He was relied on defensively, in which he was second on the team in overall plus-minus with the plus 53, and he led the team in overall face-off percentages with 75%. He played in all key situations when holding a lead as well as killing penalties. He was relied on for his leadership, in which he showed both on and off the ice. He led by example on the ice by always giving his best and keeping everyone on track and focusing on the overall goal at hand. He led in the classroom by recognizing the importance of academics and maintaining good marks and attendance, and was a great role model to the younger and first-year players as what it means to be a Muskie hockey player. When this player first told me he would be coming back to Fort High to finish his grade 12 year at home, the coaching staff was ecstatic, as we knew we'd be adding skill, leadership, hockey sense, and an overall great kid to our team. This year's MVP is Reed Bodner.
This is Grace, captain of the Fort Francis High School track team. The team had 6 weeks of preseason training, but sadly many of us were not able to participate because of involvement in other sports. Coaches Dutton, Petsnick, and Gibson want to congratulate the graduating track members. Most of the grade 12 graduating athletes have been track members for their entire time in high school and have represented Fort High with pride. Many have also been NWASA champions in several events and have qualified for OFSA on more than one occasion. Dutton says we have all been a pleasure to coach and he will personally miss us all very much. He wishes us the best of luck as we move on from Fort Francis High School. The coaches want to acknowledge our graduating seniors in alphabetical order: JC Gagne, Sean Huziak, Kaylin Mayhew, Julia McManaman, Carson Noga, Ben Olson, Grace Petsnick, Owen Riches, Katrina Slomke, Tori Torreseva, and Alicia Yerksa.
Hi, I'm Chris Sinclair and I'm the coach of the boys soccer team at Fort Francis High School.
The boys soccer team would have been competing for a milestone this year. Had we won Norwassa, it would have marked 10 consecutive years winning gold and competing at the OFSA championships. Throughout my years of coaching the soccer team, I have had several very good teams. However, I believe this year would have been one of the best well-rounded teams. We have never made it to the quarterfinals at OFSA, but I truly believe this could have been our year to do so. We had skill and speed on the wings, we had control, patience, and soccer knowledge in the middle. We had guys who could put the ball in the net up front, and a great line of defenders in the back to go along with an all-star goalie. Our team would have been made up of an older group this year, made up of many grade 12s who I've had the pleasure of coaching the past 4 years, and in a couple cases would have been 5. Brent Spuzak, Ethan Jourdain, and Jace Jackson. I appreciate you guys wanting to come back for a 5th year of school to play soccer. It was a pleasure to coach you the past 4 years and build a good relationship. I enjoyed our time together and was looking forward to another year full of laughs, just as the previous 4 have been. Senior students: Jacob Albright, Brady Bodnerchuk, Brady Meeks, Connor Nelson, Cole McGill, Matt Bijan, Lamar Lucas. Many of you have been with me on this team for the past 4 years. You have all grown so much the past 4 years. I think back to when you were quiet little grade 9s, 9 kids learning the ropes. You have all developed into positive leaders and role models for all those grade 9s now. You have also matured into well-rounded young men, and I couldn't be more proud of you and what we have accomplished together the past 4 years of your high school career. As for all 10 of you, you have made a lasting impact not only on the boys soccer program, but myself as well. I was really looking forward to this season and what we could have been capable of achieving. I feel for you guys, not having the opportunity to play the sport you enjoy and compete for a tremendous beat. Thank you all for your years of contribution to the Muskie soccer program at Fort Frances High School. This program is going to miss you, and I am going to miss you. Through all the Winnipeg tournaments, the league road trips, and the annual 17-hour bus ride to OFSA, we have made thousands of memories together that I will not forget. I wish you nothing but the best moving forward and know that you will have success with whatever you decide on doing with your futures.
I look forward to when we can get back on the soccer fields. And now here's Sarah, the coach of the girls team, to say a few words on behalf of them.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the coach of the girls soccer team. I think back to 5 years ago. This was when I started coaching the girls soccer team as an assistant to Sarah Farragher. Along with myself, there are two girls who I would still have on our team this year, Alina Eldridge and Janisa Judson. The dedication that you girls have shown for this program is outstanding, and your contributions to the Muskie girls soccer team have not gone unnoticed. The following year marked the first year that I would become head coach. It was also the year that we would start our rebuild. For the past 4 years, we have shown drastic improvements, and each year we got closer and closer to reaching our goal of winning an Arwasa gold medal. Not saying that we were a favorite to win, but we had just as good of a chance as anyone to, and I feel for you senior girls not having that opportunity. I was excited to spend another season with you girls, and was looking forward to working with you one last time. Along with Alina and Janisa, Simone Payne, Jamie Spencer, Cass Roach, you girls have been with me each step of the way, and I want to recognize you for your accomplishments, achievements, and contributions to this team, and I cannot thank you enough. Your leadership, athleticism, work ethic, and positive attitudes have left a lasting impression on myself and the girls' soccer program. Again, it is unfortunate that we did not get to spend our final season together, but I will cherish the time that we did, and I wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors.
This was the first year that nobody missed a practice. There were no disappointed students and cuts were made, and our first season ever where the entire team went undefeated. It's also the first season in many years that we did not have any Norwasa or NWASA hardware to celebrate. I'm sure it was very disappointing for our graduating students, most of whom have been the core of our badminton program over the past 4 years. I know you have dedicated many hours to practice over the years and have become some of the province's most skillful high school badminton athletes. Congratulations to Taya Baduke, Riley Booth, Lauren Marchand, Bella Ward, Michaela Putzer, Angie Redford, and Owen Riches, all of who are graduating and moving on. I wish you had gotten the chance in your final year to take one last stab at attending OFSA. I know it has been a goal of many of you throughout high school. Unfortunately, a prudent decision by the government to deal with the pandemic resulted in an unexpected early end to your journey. I hope you continue with this sport in the future and look forward to the day when we can rebuild a new FFHS team with the talented up-and-coming junior players.
We now want to take this portion of the evening to celebrate and honor some individual achievements and give out the personal awards from the school involving athletics.
Hi everyone, I'm here to let everyone know who is receiving the sports certificate and the sports letterman. So the sports certificate, the athletes must have played 8 sports while at Fort Frances High School, and the recipients this year, Jordan Bazlewski, Brett Schramm, Michael Vandre, Peyton Avis, and Ashton Cousino. And for our Sports Letterman Award, they must have played 10 sports while at Fort Frances High School. And our winners this year, or receiving it this year, are Katrina Slomke, Jamie Spencer, Carmen Hebert, Grace Petznick, Alicia Yerksa, Angie Redford, Owen Riches, Ben Olson, Simone Payne, Brady Bonnerchuk, Brady Meeks, and Tori Torseva. Congratulations to all.
Hello. So now we get into the individual awards. And the first award that I want to present is for grade 12 female for academic achievement and athletic achievement, the William George Reed Memorial Cup. So the criteria for this award is that the student had to play on at least one team in their grade 12 year. They have to be a grade 12, and they would have the highest average out of any athlete that we had on a team this year. So yes, this was an unorthodox year, but we took the final marks from first semester and the midterms from second semester, and we tally that up, and the athlete with the highest average is the recipient for this award. So it was very close. I'll tell you, the average was over 90 for this student, and this student is also not just an athlete, but a great athlete. She went to OFSA this year in cross-country skiing and has also, I believe, got her Letterman Award, so has been on multiple teams throughout her career at Fort Frances High School. The recipient for this award is Angie Redford. Congratulations. Hello. So the next individual award that I'm going to give out, or virtually give out this evening, is the grade 12 male for academic and athletic achievement. So this is the Douglas Morrow Memorial Award. So this award has the same criteria as the female. Has to be a grade 12 student, the highest average out of all the male grade 12 students that are on at least one sports team in their grade 12 year. So this athlete was also well respected in 3 or 4 different sports. I believe he had his Letterman Award as well, and has been a great Muskie athlete for his 4 years throughout his high school. I watched the student curl. He has amazing tenacity, perseverance, and always shows up to play. The award goes to Owen Riches. Thank you.
Hello again, Fort High. This year, the athletic department has decided to give out 2 awards for sportsmanship and perseverance, and I'm certainly in agreement with that. In fact, I wish we could give out 20, because so many Muskie athletes represent those qualities. Many players go through their entire careers without winning an MVP, maybe without even being on the starting lineup if they're in a team sport, and yet they continue to come to practice and work on their skills day after day. This year's female recipient certainly exemplifies those qualities. She's been a bench player up until this year on the basketball team, and yet a very, very important contributor because of our depth. This year she was a starter, but probably still wasn't happy with her court time, and I don't blame her. We just had so many players, and there's only so many minutes to go around. In badminton, she had a great year in grade 10, then probably a little bit disappointing year by her standards last year, and then never got the chance because of COVID to avenge that this year. And for that, I really do feel for her. But she is a wonderful athlete, a fantastic young woman, and I don't think anybody is going to disagree with this choice. The female winner this year for sportsmanship and perseverance is Bella Ward.
As Gord has mentioned, there are many athletes that can fall under this category, so choosing just one made it extremely difficult. Therefore, we had decided to split the award and give it to 2 well-deserving candidates. The male recipient for the Sportsmanlike and Perseverance Award has already received a similar award for one of his respective sports, which reiterates the fact that he is a perfect recipient. Sportsmanship. The student is generous in winning, he's for the good of the team, and he applauds all efforts of his teammates. He is looked upon for guidance and support. He is a natural leader in both the classroom and within his teams, and he shows nothing but respect for all aspects of sport. He accepts new challenges and embraces any role that is given to him. Perseverance. This student uses sports and athletics to help cope with distractions and does so in an outstanding manner. The challenges that this student has faced can be difficult on anyone, let alone a teenage kid. He has battled through many types of adversity this year without wanting any sympathy. He works hard to get where he wants to be and doesn't let anything stand in his way of getting there. Through all of his challenges and injuries throughout the season, he was able to not only have individual success, but was also a key member of 2 championship teams with football and hockey, and there is no doubt he would have been a big factor in contributing to a successful soccer season as well. This year's male recipient of the Sportsmanship and Perseverance Award goes to Brady Bodmerchuk. Congratulations to both Bella and Brady on this well-deserving award. You are both excellent athletes who should be proud of how you have represented yourselves as Muskie athletes.
I'm here tonight to present the Gord Memorial Award, which is given to the athlete that exhibits a real path for athletics, above and beyond just a general love for the game. The first real memory I have of this athlete was watching him perform in grade 10 in their Norwassa championship. He was a member of a very strong team, but unfortunately saw their season end that day with a silver medal. And I remember seeing how hard he played that game and the look on his face when that game was over. You could just see how much he wanted to win. And that's something that I always look for in players that I coach. I also remember thinking that he and his teammates were going to be a fun group to work with following the season when they moved up to the senior level as 11th graders. And in his first game at the senior level, he was in our starting lineup. We quickly figured out, though, that he was nervous and anxious. And he quickly figured out that there was a different element of speed and physicality at the senior level compared to what he had experienced the previous season. So because of that, he didn't last long in the starting lineup. When we sat him down and we explained to him the move that we were going to make, he didn't get upset. He only started to work harder. And over the next couple months, he honed his craft to become one of our key scorers. And he was instrumental in the success that we had that season, making it to Nwassa. Every minute he played in the senior boys basketball program, he was trying to get better. He always asked for ways to improve and always took the coaching and critique in a positive way and used it to make gains going forward. This season, he came to find me at school after his volleyball season was finished so that he could ask permission to use the gym in the mornings before classes had started. He wanted to get some extra practice in for the upcoming basketball season. So every morning, I would peek my head in the gym, open up the change room, and he would be in there most of the times by himself, getting up shots, putting in work to get ready for our season. And you just don't see that kind of dedication every day. He used that passion and drive to really see his game develop this season as a senior, where he was still one of our most reliable scorers, but he also added this new element where he became much better in the defensive end, and that allowed him to impact the game in a lot more ways, which again helped us to get a repeat trip to Nwassa. This athlete's even worked hard enough to get noticed by Orangeville Prep Athlete Institute, which is one of the top basketball programs, academies in the country, which is very hard to do for a player at a school in a town of our size in northwestern Ontario. So with that being said, I'm very pleased to announce Mike Vander as this year's recipient of the Gordash Memorial Award. Congratulations, Mike.
This year's Female Rookie of the Year began training with the Muskie track and cross-country teams 2 years ago as a grade 7 student, and it was very apparent from the very first practice that she was exceptional. Mr. Dutton recalls that she could run and jump like a deer, Her work ethic at practice was second to none, and her positive outlook and pleasant personality made her an absolute pleasure to coach. Fast forward to September 2019, when she entered grade 9 at Fort High. There was no doubt in Mr. Dutton's mind that her many skills would have transferred well to other sports, so naturally he was very pleased when she chose to continue with the cross-country team. She was a natural sprinter, so she has worked extremely hard to up her game as a distance runner, and that effort paid off in cross-country this year. In every race this season, she ran either gold or silver, and at NWASA Championships in Thunder Bay, she took an individual silver medal and qualified for OFSA as a member of the gold medal novice girls team and the gold medal winning NWASA Championship team. Following cross country, she was chosen as a member of the junior girls volleyball team while continuing to train with the Fort High Running Club. Coach Daly also spoke on how much of a pleasure it was to coach this athlete. She was always enthusiastic and constantly displayed a positive attitude both during practices and games. She has a tremendous athletic ability with amazing jumping skills. She practiced and played hard and responded positively to any suggestions that would improve her play. She was very coachable and is a great teammate. She was always supportive of her teammates, both while playing or watching from the bench. When track and field started at the beginning of February, she was temporarily sidelined due to a volleyball-related concussion, but very quickly was back with the team, working harder than ever. Unfortunately, COVID-19 caused the suspension of our track season before the first scheduled meet, but Coach Dutton truly believes that she would have enjoyed a very successful season. Already running 1,500 meters in under 5 minutes and high jumping over 1.5 meters, she should have easily qualified for OFSA, and based on these results, could have been a potential medalist in Toronto. Coach Dutton senses sincere gratitude and looks forward to seeing what she will be able to accomplish over the next 3 years. Congratulations to our 2019-2020 Female Athlete of the Year, Leah Seguin.
Hello, me again. The last award that I'm here to present tonight is the Male Rookie of the Year. So, as I said when I was talking about basketball, this grade 9 year has a ton of great athletes. When we were discussing this award amongst administrators, coaches, athletic directors, this was one of the ones that was most hotly debated. So we just couldn't decide and therefore had to give the award to 2 grade 9 male athletes. These 2 athletes are also very different. One athlete is very, very focused on a single sport. In that sport, he does extremely well. He does it better than 99.9% of athletes in Ontario. The other student is well-rounded. He participates in 2 or 3 different sports throughout the school year. The first athlete went to OFSA in his grade 9 year. Likely would have went to OFSA in a second sport had we still been at school. He was 5th in all of Ontario. Yes, you heard me right. 5th. If I was the 5th best in anything in all of Ontario, then I would be extremely happy vice principal. The second student I had the honor of coaching. He was, yes, very well-rounded. He is a quiet leader, leads by example, was first in every single running activity that we did throughout our basketball season, has a motor like you wouldn't believe, and can jump through the roof. The co-rookie of the years are Trent Wilson and Ethan Barker. Thank you, and congrats.
It is my great pleasure and honor to present the 2019-2020 Female Athlete of the Year Award. This marks the 30th anniversary of my involvement in Muskie athletics, having coached my first team back at Old Fort High in 1991. Over those 30 years, I have seen many great female athletes represent Fort High on the ice, on the courts, on the soccer pitch, and in various other venues. And I know there were many fabulous female athletes who represented Fort High long before I ever came along. But this young lady's athletic career would stack up with any of them. Probably, when you look at volleyball, track and field, and basketball, she has represented Fort High at the NWASA and OFSA level more than anybody else. The only sport she never got to OFSA in was basketball, and that's probably her coach's fault. But she has had a great career. I know this season was cut a little bit short because of COVID, and I know she really missed competing in track. But her career was culminated this year by receiving the OFSA Character Athlete Award, an award that is only bestowed to one female athlete across the province, and she is the first winner north of North Bay. You can learn more about that by accessing the OFSA Bulletin at ofsa.on.ca, where they also have a podcast featuring her and the male winner discussing their athletic careers, and you might want to check that out. Anyhow, as she culminates her career, she now joins a very elite group as a two-time Female Athlete of the Year. She deserves it, and it's my pleasure to present the 2019-2020 Female Athlete of the Year Award to Grace Pesney.
It is an honor to present the Male Athlete of the Year for the 2019-2020 season. This year's athlete competed in football, basketball, and would have competed in track and field had it not been for the coronavirus and the shutting down of the schools province-wide. In football, Coach Davis noted he played on both sides of the ball. On offense, he played running back, and on defense, he played linebacker. He also punted and was a field goal kicker. He was always willing to take on any challenge that the coaches presented to him and exceeded expectations when doing so. He was one of the main reasons why the Muskies had a championship season. Having had the opportunity to coach this athlete over the past 2 seasons, I have drawn a number of insights. This player is extremely competitive in practice and in games. Mr. Coyle commented on his work ethic, drive, and coachability. He remembers running a conditioning drill numerous times because he failed to execute it properly. And when most of the players would want a break, he would step up and do it back-to-back to get it done. Mr. Coyle also noted that he always listened and tried to implement coaching into his game. He was our point guard and floor leader. Adding a three-point shot to his game this year really added another dimension to his play. A student of the game and other teams, always giving accurate scouting reports, and you can rely on his game information on what was happening on the court. In Thunder Bay, there was a sequence later in a game versus St. Pat's where he stole the ball a couple of times in a row and either made a quick layup or a three-pointer or passed the ball for a quick basket, which put the game out of reach. This athlete loves to compete and is willing to get his nose dirty. He relishes the physicalness of basketball, of sport, and any means necessary to win. In track and field, his main event was discus, which he qualified for OFSA 3 years in a row, 7th in Ontario in grade 9. Shot put and javelin with Mr. Gibson, and he also ran the 4x100 meter. A big part of his success, he trains. Whether he's at home in Barwick or at a school, he wants to be better. Competing for the Manitoba provincial team, he qualified for the Nationals. Mr. Dutton mentioned that his drive was very impressive. This athlete may not appear as the most friendly, maybe even gruff, yet he is still a team guy and wants the team to be better. The Male Athlete of the Year for the 2019-2020 season is Sean Huziak. Congratulations, Sean.
Here is Mr. Chris Sinclair for some closing remarks.
On behalf of Mrs. Jean and myself, I would like to take a couple minutes to thank a few people who continuously make Fort Frances High School athletics possible. Referees, from the football field to the basketball and volleyball court, to the hockey arena, and to the soccer pitch. Your passion for sport is evident. Your time and effort you put in and your dedication to continue to be involved with sport is tremendous. And although I'm sure each of us coaches have disagreed with a call or two, you do a great job each and every game. Score and timekeepers. Mr. St. Croix said it best. You are the best in the league. Our sporting events in Fort Francis run very smoothly, and you have a big impact on that. You know what you're doing, and you do it well. And if you are unsure, you are not afraid to ask for help. Whenever Mrs. Jean posts a list to sign up for those positions on court sports days, I'm always so surprised on how quickly they fill. We thank you very much. Newspapers, radio stations, and broadcasting. The coverage you provide on our athletics throughout the year is top-notch. We are very fortunate to have the support from each of you. From the newspaper articles on teams or individuals, the updates on scores and results, and the live broadcasting online for anyone to watch is a privilege to have, and we cannot thank you enough. Mr. Corey Smith. Corey had a big role in athletics this year as he took on the AD duties for the first semester of the school year. Whether he volunteered or was voluntold to do so, he stepped up and fulfilled that role. As well as doing that, he volunteered his time as the junior boys basketball coach. He did all of this as vice principal of the school, who was in his first year at the school. Thanks for all you have done with athletics, Corey, and we wish you the best of luck moving forward in Southern Ontario. You will be missed. Coaches. Whether this was your first year coaching a Muskie sport or your last, which we hope it is not, we are very fortunate in Fort Francis to have coaches of such high caliber as yourselves that allow our student athletes to have success. The time and effort you give to sports, your desire and dedication to athlete development, and the care and passion you provide to our students is amazing. We sincerely thank you for all you do. And finally, and most importantly, all our student athletes. Although tonight we made some special acknowledgements to individuals on your teams, it takes a whole team to have success. Our sports teams at Fort Francis High School have a great reputation of being strong each and every year, and that is because of the hard work and dedication each of you put into your respective sport. You make nights like tonight so difficult on coaches, as we have to choose just one player or individual for any given award, when so many of you are deserving of each of them. So just because your name might not have been called tonight doesn't mean your hard work has gone unnoticed. So thank you for another great year of Muskie athletics, and we look forward to next season when we can come back to school stronger than ever.
We would like to thank the teachers and coaches for all the work they have done, and we would also like to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you for stopping by, and have a good night.
To finish off the evening, we have a special presentation made by former student athlete Ellie Petznick and Miss Ange Petznick.